ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Doc. You see Doc?
Right here.
Yeah. Go see
Yeah.
came down.
That's perfect.
Okay. We are here this afternoon to do two things. One, to acknowledge a courageous decision by the Honorable Judge Kimberly Esmond Adams, and two, to acknowledge a courageous fight for her life that this young lady, Tatiana Lima, waged against all odds when she was accused of doing one of the most heinous things that a parent could possibly do, which is take the life of her own child. We were proud as a firm to be able to co-counsel with the Conflict Defender's Office and Kevin Farmer. And the work that we were able to do together is truly a testament of what justice looks like when you can set aside any personal differences and any petty disputes to work in the interest of an innocent mother. And this innocent young woman had to endure so much over the last 2 years. For 10 months, she was incarcerated. For 2 years, she has been unable to go around her niece, her nephew, or any child under the age of 18. That has a devastating impact on a young woman with such a loving heart, such as Tatiana Lima. And so we wanted to celebrate the community, her family who have been with her this whole entire fight, and just let it be known that justice still can prevail in Fulton County, in Georgia, in the United States, when people come together, work together as a community and say that we won't allow an innocent young woman to be railroaded. And that's what you see the result of today from the verdict that came down from Judge Esmond Adams. So I wanted to introduce a couple of people so that they could speak. First, the lead counsel in the case was Kevin Farmer, who is from the Conflict Defender's Office, and just unfortunately broke his collarbone this weekend, but this isn't how he argued the case. And had a brilliant closing argument that helped lead us to victory. Kevin Farmer from the Conflict Defender's Office.
Thank you very much. I want to say that this is why we do what we do for clients such as Ms. Lima. We, both Wally and myself, knew that we had an innocent client, and these are very hard cases to try. It was due in large part to Ms. Lima. She helped us instill our faith in her, and that's what allowed us to focus on our jobs. We were able to split the case up and divide. The Division of Labor really helped us help Ms. Lima, and I don't think we could have done it without her and her family. I want to thank them for the support they showed, and they helped carry her through this difficult process over the last 2 years. But we are very satisfied to see justice prevail today.
What was the heart of your closing argument?
There was a lot of medical evidence in this case, and all the doctors are mandatory reporters of child abuse. And this poor child had 5 doctor's appointments in the 32 days of her life. She was taken to all those appointments by Ms. Lima. I think the gist of my closing argument was that the state was asking the jury to hold Ms. Lima to a higher standard and say she should have known this or she knew this, when every doctor she went to, none of them told her there's a potential this child's being abused. They didn't do the report themselves, and the last doctor's appointment was 6.5 days before this child was taken to the hospital for the final time on August 2nd. I didn't think that a first-time parent especially has the knowledge that any medical professional does, and they were trying to hold her to that standard.
We want to introduce Ms. Tatiana Lima. We want to make it's really important that a directed verdict in this circumstance is very, very rare. And what it says, as far as we're concerned, is that this case should have never gone forward to begin with. That this is a case that should have never been prosecuted, that Ms. Lima should not have had to go through all that she went through. I argued the motion for directed verdict on after the state finished their case. And at that point, we didn't believe there was enough evidence at that point for the case to continue. However, the judge did allow us to put up Ms. Lima, put up the father, Mr. Jeremy Copeland, who took full responsibility for the death of the child, and still the case moved forward. There's something fundamentally wrong about that. We've dealt with a lot of cases with the Fulton County DA's office, and we've been able to resolve a lot of cases in what I believe and what our firm believed was a just way. This was not one of those situations. This was one that we believe they got wrong in moving forward with the prosecution of, particularly after the father of the child, Jeremy Copeland, pled guilty, says under oath that I was responsible, that he in fact was responsible for these injuries, and that she, Miss Tatiana Lima, had nothing to do with the injuries that they found on their child. At that point, we thought the case would have been over. We thought that the district attorney office would do the right thing and not continue to prosecute. However, they continued, and fortunately, we were prepared. We were ready for trial, and we believe that that's led to the result. This is Miss Tatiana Lima, who is now a free woman.
What's your reaction to what happened in court today?
I'm just overjoyed, overjoyed, and just still in shock. This has been 2 years going, back and forth court, preparing for trial, still trying to mourn my daughter. I feel like I can finally breathe. I can finally take some time and start healing. So I'm happy. I feel grateful. My family, my friends have been with me since the beginning, and they were here at the end of this, and I'm ready to move forward in my life now.
Where does the case stand against Mr. Copeland?
Mr. Copeland has pled guilty. He received a life sentence, 30 years. He'll have to do every single day of it. And when typically we would think once someone's accepted responsibility and they take life, that would end the case. But unfortunately, not in this situation, and we had to continue to fight in spite of his admissions and confessions.
Tatiana, what's your reaction to that sentence? Do you feel that justice has been done as far as that goes?
I've been more so focusing on my energy, my family, myself, and trying to let go of any feelings as far as an anger or hatred towards Jeremy. Let God handle that.
Now, I hate to ask a question, but it's a question out there. Is there more that you could have done?
As a mother, I did the best that I can do at the time of what I knew what to do. And I still mourn for my daughter, but I did all I could have to do. Yeah.
Yes, you guys good.